In the 2015 election, the Peel region turned red. There are many candidates who stood up to represent their community as the Liberal tide, as some would say, took its toll. My name is Michael A. Charbon. Next, we meet first-time Member of Parliament Ramesh Sangha, the representative from the Liberals for Brampton Centre. Next on Brampton Focus. Welcome back to Brampton Focus. The first time I met my next guest, we were in the Brampton Focus All Candidates meeting, and he approached me as we went on stage, and we looked at 5 empty seats of the Conservatives, and my guest said to me, you see those 5 empty seats? We are going to win all of Brampton. My next guest is a first-time MP. He's a lawyer. He was a former member of the Indian Air Force, and he represents a brand new constituency in Brampton called Brampton Centre. Please welcome the Minister of Parliament for Brampton Centre, Mr. Ramesh Sangha. Mr. Sangha, thank you so much for
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much for taking me today.
I know that it's a lot of pressure going back and forth between the Hill, particularly in the first months of getting in. You're getting settled and getting all acquainted. What is your first impression now of being in Parliament and sitting and representing the people from Brampton Centre?
Oh, Michael, it's fantastic. I tell you, I'm so glad to be there, you know. I'm very thankful to all the constituents, those who have voted for me, and those who are with me, those who are always thinking that I'm going to do some good things there. Really, it's a pleasure for me to be there in that such a big thing, Parliament, where we make the laws. Canada, the good democratic setup, where I am working there, and I'm proud to be there.
So you're a lawyer by trade. You were a lawyer back in India. You are a lawyer here in Canada and had a successful legal practice. Is there one thing that you can share with us that was a very poignant revelation, if you would say, of going to Ottawa and seeing the parliamentary system take place?
Michael, let me tell you, you know, it was my desire, keen desire in my heart, that I should get some chance to work with the people, work for the people, actually. You know, once you have worked a lot for your own establishment, for your own law office, and you want to give something back to the community. And that's the time when I used to think, oh, if I get the chance, I will work for the community. And now I will work for the community.
So Brampton Centre is a new constituency. The border lines have changed. You've got a population of about 103,000 people, of which 68,000 can vote. About 47,000 of those 68,000 are immigrants, the majority of them South Asian. And Statistics Canada says that the mean average income of many of the constituents who live in your area is about $28,000. Very challenging times for you. And now you have the responsibility, you've been given the baton to go to Ottawa and represent these people. What are some of the things that you believe you're going to bring forth that are going to help those people in Brampton Centre?
Yeah, actually, being an immigrant, I have seen myself this life. When I came here, 640 was the basic rate. At that time, we used to do 3 jobs, 1 to 3 jobs in a day. For 2 jobs permanently, I used to do it. But, you know, slowly, things are changing, things are different at that time. It was a Liberal government which was changing over from the Conservative, and the times were very bad. Now, when I see now at this stage, when we took over the government, it was the same situation. Same setup, same 2-3 jobs, prices hike, people are not getting employment, people are unemployed, EI was not easy for them to have it. So people were hard pressed from all the sides. And that's what I was feeling at that time. My riding, where I am the first member of Parliament of Brampton Centre now, newly formed, what I should do for that. Yeah, and that's what I decided. Let me do it with the government, work for the government, bring my Brampton maximum share, which I am entitled for. My Brampton is entitled for. My Brampton Centre people are entitled for. I will do maximum whatsoever I can do.
So one of the things that you ran upon was that you had a policy on immigration, citizenship, refugees. You talked about transit, infrastructure, and you also campaigned against C-24. From an infrastructure standpoint, let's talk about that first. Brampton, as of late, was unable to pull the trigger, as one would say, on our LRT, which is an unfortunate circumstances. Some people say it was the right thing, others say it was not. Regardless of the decision, infrastructure is a huge, huge component of injecting jobs into Brampton. Do you see anything in the future that's going to happen to Brampton from a federal standpoint that's going to help that?
See, we as a we want to sit together onto the table, negotiate with each other, and see that we bring the changes into the setup. We want to spend money onto infrastructure. Transit infrastructure is a major drawback here in Brampton.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see that Brampton is moving forward. If we spend more money onto the transit, we can make this Brampton to move very fast. It can be a very prosperous city. Good jobs. There can be people, those who are living away from the Brampton, leaving away from here and going and working in Toronto or somewhere else.
That's the biggest problem that
they can live here.
People who live in Brampton have to go outside.
Outside.
Right.
So why they have to go outside? It's unfortunate that we are not able to provide LRT as you are talking, but I think it's my feeling, gut feeling is it will be okay very shortly. People's will prevail. Those people, they will sit on the table and say one day, oh, let's do something. It's for the people. You're doing for the benefit of the people. I think they will do something. They will be doing better.
One of the platforms that the Liberals ran on that you also endorsed was about cancelling the child benefit check for millionaires, closing tax loopholes. With about a minute left, is there anything you could put a bow on that for us? Has there been any progress in some of the people who make large amounts of money escaping taxes? Have you seen any movement on that?
Have you seen yesterday's Revenue Canada's what they are doing?
Yeah,
they have got.
I mean, I'm leading into that.
Great, $90 million. People, those who are getting benefits from the gifts given to them. Mm-hmm. So that's the way we have to see that people, those who are really having money with them, and they can pay their share for the benefit of the middle class people or those who want to join the middle class people. Let's tell them to pay it. Come forward. Let's do something better for them.
Let's do something better for them. We're speaking to Ramesh Sangha, who is the Minister of Parliament for Brampton Centre. When we come back, we're going to talk about the budget. As of late, the budget was brought up by Minister Bill Munro, and it was $29.4 million. And when you take into consideration $308 billion in Ontario, Canada's in debt. What are the Liberals' plans? Mr. Sangha will respond to that and many other questions when we return with Brampton Focus. Be right back right after this. And welcome back to Brampton Focus. We're talking to Mr. Ramesh Sangha, who is the Liberal representative, Minister of Parliament for Brampton Centre. When we left, Mr. Sangha, you had just talked about some revelations. We were talking about taxes and tax loopholes, and you were saying that Revenue Canada and the Liberal government just found a whole bunch of money. And it was an interesting state, so I didn't want to lay that down. I wanted to bring that up and give you an opportunity to expound on that.
Michael, see, when we talk about for the betterment of the middle class, we need some money from somewhere. So if we can tell these people, those who are having more money with them, to pay something more, and if they're not paying, make them to pay. That's the way Revenue Canada is doing. That's the way government is doing at this time. We told these rich people to pay 1% more, 1% people, those who are rich in Canada, to pay more taxes so that you can assist your middle class people, those who need the money. Mm-hmm. So that's why we reduce taxes on the middle class people and told those people, those who are earning more than $200,000, to pay more taxes.
One of the things that Mr. Trudeau ran on was saying that we were going to have a minimal amount of deficit, something in the 10 billion order. When Bill Morneau released his budget in April, we saw that it was $29.4 million. If you look at the level of debt, Ontario, for instance, was $308 billion, $29.4 billion in Canada. How do we square this? We're getting deeper in debt. Of course, the Conservatives said there wasn't a debt, and you, as the Liberals, say you inherited it. What's your plan? What do you see in the future of the Liberals of solving this indebted society that we're in? We're in the ditch.
See, Michael, at this time, what my feeling is, this government has to be very credible with the people, the Canadians. We have to show the Canadians that we are working for you. And this government, when we declare that we will be investing money into the people, into the Canada, into the green infrastructure, in transit infrastructure, and into the social infrastructure, the purpose of spending this money is to bring more jobs, more employment, more prosperity to the people, and remove the poverty from the people, those who are just striving hard to join the middle class. So that's why we are at the same time we are working here to remove all those disparities which 10 years back this government has not done it so far. The government has not spent the money onto the infrastructure where it was required to spend. So now this government is trying to spend maximum money so that transit, see, we have got a deadlock here. There's a totally gridlock onto the roads. If we have got a flow, better flow, the rest, short time we spend on commuting, we can spend that time with the families and other.
Many of those concepts take several years to develop. Economists are saying that it's $90 million a day that we're paying in interest, and that we're getting further in debt. It's one thing to say that you want to invest in infrastructure, but particularly in your constituency, being Brampton Centre, where it's a highly immigrant population, where the mean income is $28,000, where they need direct help. What is this government going to do today, not 4 years in finalizing a road? Because there needs to be some rescue now, today, but we still have to mediate the fact of $90 million a day in interest for what we're borrowing.
See, at this time, if we see the immediate effect, every Canadian will feel that they are having immediate effect in the next coming 2 to 3 weeks. They will be getting the child benefit tax checks in their accounts. They will be seeing their benefits which tax relief has given them, and these are the benefits which they are going to see it immediately, and they will further see if we talk about the jobs, at this time we have created summer jobs. People are going to be employed for the summer job, and I can tell you, in my Brampton Centre, I have got the maximum number of the people, those who are taken the advantage of the summer jobs. And EI, we have reduced our number of hours. We are given the easy access to the EI. So those are the benefits which people, those who are in need, those who are really having more income, they will be getting benefit from this thing. I do agree. I'm very clear that infrastructure spendings, investments is not going to make an immediate difference, but keep it in mind that every Canadian will get the benefit immediately from the checks which they are going to get it.
So if we look at companies that are major employers in Brampton, you've got companies like Loblaws, you've got Rogers, you've got Chrysler, Maple Lodge Farms, Canadian Tire, Coca-Cola, etc., even the Bacardis, Britas, and Cloroxes of this world. These are people who are employing people in Brampton who live in Brampton. What are some of the things that the Liberal government is going to do to help these established companies so they can continue to increase their workforce, and that Brampton can attract further large companies like this to help people in Brampton?
Good question. That's really, Michael, good question. See, when we talk about these stakeholders, when they spend in an innovative way and technology, they want to improve their technology, our government is ready and prepared to spend for the infrastructure to give them benefits so that they can increase more jobs, they can create more jobs. They can go in a scientific way, they can go in an innovative way, they can export their stuff to the outsiders, bring more money to the Brampton, so that, and other governments to give more share for the tax which they are paying it. And that's the way we are going to increase more jobs also. Immediately, it will affect really very fast. It is going to affect the
when we come back, we're going to
residents.
talk a little bit. The Economic Development Corporation of Brampton has set out some objectives that they want to pursue because they feel these are the things that are important for the people of Brampton to chase. And we also want to give you an opportunity to speak directly to the folks in Brampton Centre, and we will do that and attract all those comments from you in our final segment. We're talking to Mr. Ramesh Sangha, who is the Minister of Parliament for Brampton Centre. My name is Michael A. Charbon. You're watching Brampton Focus. We'll be back with our final segment and Mr. Sangha right after this. And welcome back to Brampton Focus. Michael A. Charbon here speaking to Mr. Ramesh Sangha, who is a member of Parliament in the 42nd seating of our Parliament, of our government, and representing Brampton Centre. When we left, I was speaking a little bit about the Economic Development Corporation, if you wish, or the part of economic development for Brampton. And one of the things that they wanted to centralize on was business engagement, entrepreneurialism, and international business investment. If you look at our main partners in Canada, 75% of our exports go to the US, and 66% of our imports come from the U.S. China is second with 7% and 4%, and Mexico actually is 3% of our imports. Mr. Sangha, how can we mobilize, particularly your constituents in Brampton Centre, who are very interested in working, to power this ability to engage entrepreneurialism and get more business happening in Brampton for sale outside?
See, Michael, let me tell you, I had been an entrepreneur in this Brampton city from last more than 20 years, and I have seen the entrepreneurs are the backbone of this economy, our economy. In Brampton Centre, in Brampton whole, as a whole, if I talk, in Brampton, we have to, this government, our government is bent upon spending more money on infrastructure and on environmental, innovative processes. Recently, I had the chance to go to Bacardi and release money there for the innovative investment, which they are going to do it. Similarly, our Minister, Innovation and Industrial Minister, Nab Bans, is committed to meet every partner, every stakeholder, every big concerns and companies, corporations, to see that they are spending, they are investing money, they want to sit with the government and spend more and more money on the innovative processes so that bring more jobs to the Brampton Centre, Brampton itself, and more income and more prosperity.
I'm not disagreeing that sounds like a good plan. I think that some Canadians, again, here spending more money, and we're getting a little afraid of going in debt. But if everything is going to work on the trajectory that Bill Morneau and Prime Minister Trudeau and yourself, there is a good possibility that we're going to be successful. I want to switch gears here quickly. One of the items that you ran on was on the repeal of Bill C-24. As of late, Bill C-6 was introduced, and Bill C-6 would reverse changes to the Citizenship Act, which was enacted by the previous government, with the most notable changes being the ability of the government to revoke the citizenship of dual nationals who were convicted of terrorist act, required to sign an oath of declaration that they intend to reside in Canada. There are some people that felt that you've gone too far with that. How would you react to that?
See, Michael, let me tell you, this is very clear from my perspective. If I think regarding the security of the national security, and it's the first and foremost thing which we must have. Secure our Canadians from all possible terrorism or other attacks. That's the one thing. Another thing is, our Canadians, we are the diverse country. We have the different communities living in this country. Our strength, Canada's strength is in diversity. We are strong with the being diverse, not in spite of the diversity. So we have to see that all the communities flourish in a nice way in a way they want to be here.
With
to
all due
make this
respect, you're not answering the question. The question was that Bill C-6 was taking Bill C-24 and saying that if a person with dual citizenship was convicted of terrorism or fought for the other side, was convicted of murder and held dual citizenship and came here, that they could revoke his citizenship. The Liberals came in and took Bill C-6 and said that you can no longer do that. Once a Canadian forever.
I'm sorry, Michael, if I went a little bit long in that. Nutshell it is that this Bill C-24, it was curtailing the rights of the Canadians. It was making them different. One Canadian of a different type, another of a different type. But this does not need. We are diverse people. We want the same right, same law, same for each and everyone. So that's why we decided to revoke Bill C-24, and we will do it.
Yeah, you've done it. Bill C-6, you control a majority in the government, and that is what the people spoke to. There are many, though, that still feel that it was reckless, that it was, regardless of all of us coming together, if someone creates treason or is trying to kill people in Canada, regardless, that they should not be able to remain.
Michael, when we are here in this Canada, we have to deal each and every person equally as per the Canadian system, Canadian law. Canadian law will be equally applicable to all of them. Put them in the jail. Tackle them properly if somebody is not doing, if somebody is a treason.
Mr. Trudeau said that was a salient point. We can't have two classes of Canadians.
Yes,
I think that's what you basically.
That's what Justin told. Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian. Right. Honorable Justin Trudeau, he was here in this riding on when there was a rally here just a few days before the election. And he gave this slogan, Canadian is a Canadian.
With about a minute and a half left, Mr. Sangha, I want to give you an opportunity to speak to the folks in Brampton and give them a little bit of perspective of what you see coming and what you see some of the positive changes that your Liberal government will bring to the people of Brampton, and particularly Brampton Centre.
See, as a Canadian, as a member of the Parliament, now I'm proud for the mandate which you have given me and to the government, which you have a trust in us, and I assure you that I will go as per the aspirations which you have for me. I will work hard for the Canadians. I will work hard for you guys. Anytime you have some job, anytime you have some compelling circumstances, you feel that you need some help, come on, 100 Kennedy South, and come into the office. My phone number is 905-790-9211, ramesh.sangha@parl.gc.ca. You can email me, contact me, phone me anytime, and come in. I don't think it's a federal issue, it's a provincial or municipality issue. You have an issue, come on to my office, let's resolve it. Sit down together and try to resolve it, and we will resolve it. We will work together. We all will work together and see that we are making this Canada a country which we now want to have this.
Mr. Sangha, I thank you so much for being here. As he said, with 4 empty chairs of the Conservatives during the debate, the Liberals took all of Brampton and all of Peel because it is all red. My name is Michael Charbon. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sangha. We'll be back with lots more Brampton Focus. Join us on bramptonfocus.ca. Thanks for watching.